Mega Banette is a fantastic ladder choice in Pokemon Champions thanks to its Frisk ability, which is able to scout items pre-Mega Evolution, and then when it does Mega Evolve, does get access to Prankster and so many great support moves that it can be very unpredictable, as well as the buff that it got access to since the last time we had access to Mega Banette with Poltergeist, a really strong Ghost type move that is able to capitalize on the really high attack stat that Mega Banette did have but wasn't really able to utilize. We're going to be trying out Mega Banette and seeing how well it can perform. This Rain team has so many tricks with the Prankster Mega Banette. Let's break it down. So first Pokemon up is going to be the Mega Banette with Frisk as the ability prior to Mega Evolution, so it is able to scout the items on the lead of your opponent's choice, which is really impactful. And then when it Mega Evolves, Prankster gives it +1 priority to any of its non-attacking moves, which is pretty important because it gets a wide array of options. This time we're going to be running a set that consists of Poltergeist as that really strong Ghost type coverage, Trick Room, which is really nice as it is able to provide some speed control and is a tool that Banette does have access to that's new. And then Destiny Bond and Swagger, some very tricky ones. Destiny Bond and Trick Room are really cool pairs together because with Prankster you get the priority Destiny Bond, and the way that Destiny Bond status does work is if Destiny Bond is going to last until the fact that Banette uses his next attack. And normally you could usually stall it out and then have to force the Banette to go for either attacking move or utilize a Prankster move, and that way the Destiny Bond counter would be gone. But with Trick Room, you can go for Destiny Bond and either force your opponent to take the trade on Banette or allow the Trick Room to get up safely with the Banette. So it's actually really cool that the Banette can force this kind of option. Then Swagger, which is going to be for a certain pair that we'll see later on, but also the fact that it's also good into Mega Staraptor because you can go for Swagger, confuse the Staraptor, and lower its attack stats by -2 thanks to their contrary, so can be useful there. EV spread wise, this is going to be max HP, a lot of defense with the relaxed nature, mainly because of the fact that the investment is needed to live a non-boosted Kowtow Cleave from King Gambit because Banette's defenses aren't the greatest, and then the rest are going to go into special defense and attack for the extra damage with Poltergeist. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Sylveon with the Fairy Feather to power up its Fairy type attacks. Pixelate does transform its normal type moves into Fairy type moves and gives it a bit of a boost on top of that, as well as Hyper Voice, Hyper Beam, Quick Attack, and Detect. Pretty standard Sylveon set. We have max special attack, Quiet Nature, because we are utilizing the Sylveon under the Trick Room and we need it to be able to sweep teams. And then we have the ability with a good amount of HP and defense to be able to survive stuff like the Jolly Sneasler Dire Claws out there. So this Sylveon just designed to dish out as much damage as possible, especially under that Trick Room. So next Pokemon on the team is going to be the Leftovers Archaladon with the Stamina ability that is able to increase the defense of Archaladon every single time the Archaladon takes an attack. And we have the moveset of Protect, Electroshock, Flash Cannon, Snarl. So Protect is pretty common. Electroshock's being able to go for the big strong electric move in Rain and boost the special attack stat. Flash Cannon, which is able to be a strong steel type move, but Snarl is an interesting one. So normally Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor are common on Archaladon, but this one's running Snarl to be able to hit the ghost types, able to also be a support mon because of the fact that you can go for Snarl, lower the special attack stat of the opposing Pokemon, and that could be nice into several Pokemon, especially the special attackers that can really threaten the Archaladon, especially. So you can spam Snarl against special attackers, maybe force them to switch out, gain access to just the Leftovers recovery, and be a really big nuisance. So I think Snarl is an interesting tech here to see on this team. But the EV spread on this Archaladon is max HP, a lot of special defense because you do want to be able to take on, as for instance, the Eternal Flow as the Charizard Y attacks, multiple of those special attacks, a little bit of speed to speed creep some opposing Archaladons, and then you do have a good amount of special attack with the Modest Nature to get the extra stat point in its special attack stat. And this Archaladon going to be sticking around and dishing out some good damage with that Electroshock. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Lumberry Sneasler with the Unburden ability, which is able to double the speed of the Pokemon when its item is consumed, and the moveset of Throat Chop, Close Combat, Rock Slide, Protect. So why we have Swagger on the Banette is to be paired with the Sneasler. Prankster Swagger with the Mega Banette allows it to go for Swagger before Sneasler can get an attack off. Goes for the Lumberry proc, which means it snaps it out of confusion. Then the Unburden activates, doubles its speed, and thanks to the Swagger, gives the Sneasler +2 attack, so it can fire off a really powerful Throat Chop, Close Combat, or Rock Slide. Very good coverage options. Throat Chop to be able to surprise maybe a Basculegion or any of the other ghost types like Gengar out there. Close Combat able to be a really strong coverage option, especially you want a way to hit the King Gambit, which Bayonet does not appreciate, or any of the dark types like Incineroar. And then Rock Slide to be able to, of course, hit Charizard. Why? We're going with just max speed and max attack. I guess just making sure that you are able to outspeed things. Even if there is Tailwind on the opposing side, you will be able to outspeed things to the Unburdened. So I am assuming that's the reason why you're going Jolly, and you do have +2 attack, so you probably are getting those knockouts anyway. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Bright Powder Corviknight. That's a Bright Powder Corviknight because you have Leftovers already taking on Archaudon, and you have Citrus Berry taking on Politoed. Not really many great items on defensive Corviknight yet. I guess it could run maybe like a Aqua Berry or a Wakan Berry, but Bright Powder could maybe cheese some games. So I guess that's the reason why for Bright Powder. Mirror Armor, fantastic ability, which is able to reverse any stat decreases that the Corviknight might receive, which is pretty nice, onto the opposing Pokemon that try to lower the Corviknight stats. And then the moveset of Brave Bird, Iron Defense, Roost, and Body Press. So this Pokemon can definitely win games on its own. It's a little bit difficult to use in a Charizard format, but other than the strong special attackers like the Charizard and maybe the Raichu, which is, I guess, a bit more common now, there aren't that many Pokemon that are able to break through Corviknight, especially after some Iron Defense boost. It means it can actually be able to take stuff on like the King Gambits, Basculegions, Sneaslers, and more. So Iron Defense Corviknight can definitely win some games if positioned properly. So this is going to be the Corviknight set, and then for the EV spread, I think they just forgot to put 1 extra point into defense because the Corviknight was missing EVs on the rental code, but it is max HP because you want to be able to take attacks in general, a good amount of special defense, and then Impish Nature with a little bit of defense, but it should be 1 more point, so it gets an extra stat point as well because that's the benchmark there. I'm assuming you want as much special defense as possible because Corviknight can't boost its special defense. While of course with the Iron Defense and then the Impish Nature, you're really able to take attacks, and this allows the Corviknight to dish out a good amount of damage, especially with Body Press at +2 especially. Final Pokemon on this team is going to be the Citrus Berry Politoed with the Drizzle ability that is able to summon the rain, really important for our child of course, but of course as a way to prevent opposing weather from allowing them to go for their thing. You have access to Weather Ball, Hypnosis, Perish Song, and Protect, because if you are able to get some quick knockouts with the Sneasler mode, Perish Song can clean up, which is really nice. We have access to the Weather Ball, which is going to be a powerful water type move in the rain. Hypnosis, which is pretty interesting, but of course being able to go for Hypnosis, and you know, if you're in a rough position, go for that Hypnosis. If Politoed can't really do much otherwise, being able to land at sleep can be very game changing indeed. And then Perish Song, Protect to be able to stall the counters. You have the very bulky Politoed with the sassy nature, having a lot of special defense in general to be able to take attacks, and then the rest going into HP and physical defense to be able to just survive again, like a lot of the physical attacks that is in this format. It's a mon that's just supposed to set up rain, can go for Hypnosis to support like the Archaudon and the other Pokemon to allow for extra hits, and of course some great Perish Song endgame options. So how to use the team? Well, you do have access to the Mega Banette, which is a fantastic lead because of the fact that Frisk is a great ability, especially just being able to figure out and confirm your opponent's items on the lead, and that allows you to plan the match ahead of time. That is incredible, especially with Banette paired with Sneasler is a very fun combination. The access to the Prankster, allowing the Banette to go for the Swagger, activating the Lumberry on the Sneasler, giving it a +2 attack boost on Burden triggers, gets the +2 speed as well, and then gets a very powerful attack off, which can get your opponent by surprise. Then you have access to, of course, Banette going for Trick Room as well, with the Sylveon, Politoed, and Archaudon that could take advantage and dish out a lot of damage on that Trick Room, especially with the Sylveon. It can be fantastic. You can lead something like the Sylveon plus the Banette, go for that Trick Room Hyper Voice, and really just try to sweep from there. Of course, Banette Sneasler is just fantastic because you can go for the Swagger, and then once Sneasler goes down, you can then set up the Trick Room and then proceed to go for, like, again, Sylveon or Archaudon, Politoed, really just being able to set up under that Trick Room. Then you have different leads, of course, with just the rain mode in general. Politoed plus Archaudon's pretty fantastic at just being able to set up the Electric Shot, allow Archaudon to do its thing. It's pretty classic. You can go with like Sneasler, Sylveon for the offense immediately, but I do think that Banette is just like the strongest lead that this team has access to, mainly because that Frisk is just so good, and of course being able to enable the rest of the team, whether it's the Trick Room mode or just again the swag on the Sneasler I think is too valuable. Corviknight can be brought in certain matchups, again depending on like if the Iron Defense Corviknight can be really good, especially if you are able to take a trade on getting rid of the biggest threat to Corviknight in some of the matchups, but I do think the other 5 are probably more reliable. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below, but otherwise let's try out Mega Banette and Pokemon Champions and see how well it does. Alright, we have Charizard, Glimmora, Basculegion, the Garchomp, Whimsicott, and Staraptor. Trying to figure out what the best combo here is wise, but I do want to bring the Banette. I think Banette is pretty good. Am I bleeding with Sneasler though? I'm kind of curious if they bring either Charizard or Staraptor. I think it's probably more likely Staraptor, but I'm not 100% certain because I think Charizard is actually pretty good against my team as well. I think I want to lead off with the Sneasler plus the Banette because if they lead Staraptor, it's not incentivized to close combat. I could maybe get a free Trick Room off, which could be really good. I think it's probably more likely they bring Charizard just because if they don't know the team, they might not know the Banette has Will-O-Wisp, which could threaten a lot here. So I think it's probably better to go with this. And then in the back, I think if I'm going with Trick Room, I might as well go Sylveon. Sylveon's really impactful, and then probably just bring the Politoed so I do have a way to change the weather if necessary. I do have to watch out though. The Basculegion is going to be pretty terrifying, but I do have some pretty okay tools here. So let's see what my opponent decides to go with lead-wise, as I assume Whimsicott, but Glimmora Whimsicott. Okay, I don't think it's Mega on the Glim, so I don't think this is too bad. Like Sneasler plus the... Okay, Life Orb on the Whimsicott and Focus Sash on the Glimmora. Interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have Dire Claw. Dire Claw would have been really nice here. I could just Trick Room immediately, though. I'm just questioning whether it's better Trick Room or not. I think my play here is just to get damage off into the Glimmora with close combat and probably just go for a Trick Room. I don't think they're going to go for Tailwind immediately, but we'll see. I think they're probably just going to fire off a Moonblast plus an attack. Maybe they go for Earth Power, double my Sneasler, which is fine, but maybe protects. But we'll see. They go for Tailwind, which is perfectly acceptable for me. Okay. I am able to get a free close combat off, which is nice. As they do go for the Earth Power. Does this KO the Sneasler? It does not KO the Sneasler, which I didn't think it would, but I would have been okay if it does. Now I get to keep Sneasler around because I can actually get rid of the Toxic Spikes. We do get the big hit off in the Glimmora, and now we get a free switch opportunity into Sylveon, I think, which is actually pretty alright here. I could also go for Poltergeist into the Glim, or do I want to go for Poltergeist into the Whimsicott? The thing is, the Whimsicott can go for Encore, which is a thing that I do have to be concerned about. So maybe my best play here? I could go for quite a few different things. I think I do want to go Sylveon, though. I think Sylveon is pretty good. And you know what? Let's go for a Swagger here. I think Swagger into... I'm going to go for the Glim. I'm just going to go for the Glim. Because if they go for Encore, I bypass it with the Swagger, so I'm not locked in here. I get Sylveon in, and Hyper Voice is looking pretty tough to switch in for my opponent. They protect the Whimsicott, so this is actually pretty good here. Double protect? Okay, no. Did they Sludge Bomb the Sylveon slot? We'll see. That's the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is that they Sludge Bomb this slot. I was thinking Glimmora might have Spiky Shield, but okay, they just Earth Power, which ends up being really good for me. So they go for Earth Power. Sylveon's in a really good spot. I get to click Hyper Voice, and I think I'm going to go for Poltergeist into the Whimsicott here, because I don't see a reason not to go for Poltergeist into the Whimsicott. If they want to go for Encore, that's fine, but I should get a double knockout if there's no protects, and they didn't protect, so goodbye Glimmora, and Whimsicott, if I do land a Poltergeist, will go down, which is fantastic. Nice, and we do connect, so Poltergeist will come out. Bam, this Whimsicott is gone. I might have been able to one-shot this Whimsicott because Poltergeist is just such a strong move, and Banette has really high attacks, so goodbye Whimsicott. We do have a weakened Sylveon, but across the board, I think this is a pretty good position to be in. Charizard comes out. And Basculegion, no Garchomp. Okay. So I do have to fear the Basculegion, because Basculegion is still a mon that I do have to respect here. I'm just debating about which one I'm going to go for. I think I go for Hyper Beam into the Basculegion, and I think I swap out the Banette to go out into Sneasler. I could also Destiny Bond, but I don't think that's worth it. I think I go Sneasler. Yeah, I think I go Sneasler. I think that's probably my best play. I wonder what the Basculegion item is, because it's not Life Orb, and it's not Sash. We get rid of the Toxic Spike too, so we don't have to worry about Politoed. They do Mega Ball to Charizard. The question is, does the Bass protect? I think Bass always protects, and I don't think I can knock out Charizard unless I Hyper Beam Poltergeist that slot, but I don't think it's worth going for. So let's see. They actually Aqua Jet to Sylveon, so this is perfect. I mean, Hyper Beam, it does get fired off into the Basculegion, which is very impactful here. And Basculegion goes down. So now it's Charizard versus the world, and I should be good because I have a Politoed in the back that is just very comfortable. They go for Heat Wave. We even dodged with the Sneasler. We didn't need the Sneasler, but works out for us. The Sylveon goes down here, and now we can go for quite a few different options. I'm going for... Well, they're going to forfeit, but I had like so many things. I'm probably going Politoed first and then doubling into Banette. I think is my best option in protecting Sneasler. Then I could go for Self Swagger, Rock Slide, and be in a really good spot. Alright, we have Sneasler, Blastoise, King Gambit, Incineroar, Delphox, and Sinistcha. So we have a pretty classic team for the most part. Alright, I am bringing Banette. Banette is pretty good, although there is the Gambit. So it's probably like Sneasler, Gambit. Yeah, it's Delphox. I mean, it's not the easiest mon to handle. I'm gonna bring Politoed. I guess I don't need Sylveon in this matchup. It's not bad though against the team. But I'm thinking like the combination I really like is just Banette plus Sneasler and then have Politoed or Archaludon Rain Mode in the back. Because Archaludon, of course, being able to hit the Blastoise is pretty massive. It's also decent into King Gambit, while Politoed's kind of needed to enable the Archaludon. I'm a little bit worried about the Blastoise, but I think it should be fine. Because I always threaten it with like Sneasler with the Unburden or the Banette mode, so I think it's okay. Sylveon offensively looks pretty good, but I'm not 100% sure if it should be broad here. I also don't remember the King Gambit run Sword Stance or if they run Iron Head, so probably better to leave it behind, but let's see. Alright, what are you leading here? You are going with Sinistcha Blastoise, which is okay. As I do lead Banette plus Sneasler. Find the items, going to be the Cobra Berry, so the Sinistcha does go down to my Poltergeist. So I'm going to go for Poltergeist into the Blastoise, and I'm just going to go for a Rock Slide here. Because if they go for like Rage Powder plus Shell Smash, this covers it. I guess like the only play he doesn't really cover for is Dark Pulse, but I don't know if they're going to go for Dark Pulse immediately. So I think this is alright. Like, I'm not really too concerned, I think, about the Blastoise currently, because if they try to set up, we do have Destiny Bond with our Banette, so we can maybe take the Blastoise down with us. They protect the Blastoise. Did they just attack here with Sinistcha? Oh, no, they protected. Okay, that works. That's fine. We go for Rock Slide. I mean, that could have been a free Swagger, but I guess they want to figure out what move we're going for. Okay. Because we did go for Poltergeist here. I guess they don't know if we have Encore or not, right? I think my best play here... I want a Destiny Bond really badly. I think Destiny Bond makes a lot of sense. Plus maybe Throat Chop here. Yeah, I'm going to go for Throat Chop plus Destiny Bond. They go for Rage Powder. If this is Dark Pulse, this covers it. But if they go for, like, let's say Shell Smash, I can go for Protect Trick Room the next turn. So I think that's okay. So we get the Destiny Bond off. And the throat chop, it's gonna activate the Cobra Berry. I can't poltergeist the Sinistra now, which is something I do have to consider. Oh, I did a lot less than I thought. Okay. They did Dark Pulse though, so I was right on that. So this should KO me? Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I get rid of the Blastoise. I think that's a pretty good trade because Blastoise is probably their most offensive mon. I don't think they brought Delphox here with Blastoise. So now I feel pretty good about like Arch being able to come in and it should be pretty okay here for the most part. I could also go Politoed. Politoed makes sense too. But I think Arch is better. I think Arch is a bit better. Oh, do I go Arch or do I go Politoed? Politoed might be actually better here. Sneasler should come in, right? I think they probably brought Sneasler. I might go Politoed. Oh, Incineroar came in. Okay, that's fine. I do not mind this. Yeah, I really don't mind this. I think this is a free switch to Arch and Protect. I'm assuming they didn't bring Sneasler at this point, which I guess kind of makes sense. Yeah, I don't see a problem with just protecting and swapping out the Politoed out into my Archaludon, because now Archaludon just gets to click Electroshock pretty freely. So I'll just go for Electroshock plus maybe Close Combat into Incin. I think that's okay. They go for Fake Out into the Politoed. Beautiful. So I do get a stamina boost. So if they do have the Archaludon, or they do have the King Gambit in the back, having that stamina boost is pretty good. I was trying to bait Matcha Gotcha. They go for Trick Room, which is fine. Okay, Arch is very healthy right here. I don't see a problem going for Electroshock Close Combat. Yeah, I don't see a problem going for Electroshock Close Combat into the Incineroar, because if they don't go for Parting Shot, then I think I'm in a good spot. I guess Sinistra could switch out and they could Parting Shot, but I think that's okay too. Like, Rage Powder here is fine because I'm able to get boost with my Archaludon, which is still good. Yeah, like even if they do this, I think this is acceptable. I'm getting a bit of chip built up onto the Sinistra. So we know it's Matcha Gotcha, Trick Room, Rage Powder, Protect on the Sinistra. Sneasler is brought out, but like here's the thing. We did go for the Electroshock, and again, being able to switch out early was pretty impactful. I'm kind of surprised that the Sneasler didn't come out earlier, but this works out huge for us. Because now we have this Archaludon, which is very comfortable. And I think we can go for... I'm actually going to go for Electroshot into the Sneasler. I'm going to Electroshot the Sneasler, and I'm actually going to Throat Chop my own Arch. This covers Sinistra protecting, but also, like, I should get the stamina boost, so I take the close combats better. Yep, we do see the Sinistra protect tiers. I could have doubled up the Sneasler, but I actually don't know if I do knock out the Sneasler. Because this is only +1 Electroshot. Sneasler has good special defense, and then like I'm -1 with my Sneasler. I went for Throat Chop because of the Rage Powder. I get Electroshot plus Throat Chop in this Sinistra, but if I don't... Oh, I actually would have. That did a bit more than I expected. Oh, they close combat my Sneasler. Interesting. Okay. That's fine by me. Here's a Throat Chop into the Arch. Stamina boost. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I am very much okay with this. Also... I could Snarl here, but I don't know... The Snarl KO'd the Sneasler. -1 versus +1. I mean, my best play is probably just to spam another Electroshock, Throat Chop. I think it is. They go for Rage Powder, which is fine. I just want the boost. I don't think Flash Cannon was KOing the Sinistra anyway at this range, and if I'm not KOing Sinistra, I might as well just get another Electroshock boost off, I think. Which is better for me. I do eat like any of the attacks that Sneasler can throw off, and once Sneasler goes down, Politoed looks like in a comfortable spot, but let's see. Yeah, actually Flash Cannon would have been... No, I don't think Flash Cannon would have a +1. Here comes Close Combat. As you can see, because of that throat chop earlier, as well as switching into the Archaludon on the fake out, the stamina just really allows Archaludon to shine here. We get a throat chop off, KO to Sinistra. Now they're down to the last two. I'm looking really nice with my Politoed once Politoed can come in safely. And they're gonna forfeit because like it's really unlikely they are able to win. I don't think the Sneasler also has Protect. Actually maybe they do have Protect, but I think I'm still fine regardless. Like it's really tough for them to win, even if they crit. Okay, we have triple weather. We have Charizard, Pelipper, Archaludon, Sneasler, Frostlass, and Garchomp. I wonder if like the Frostlass might have Weather Ball on this team. Triple weather is weird. Triple weather is weird here. I'm not 100% sure if I like dealing with triple weather. I'm thinking a Banette plus Sneasler might not be terrible here. It's either Banette, Sneasler, or Archaludon plus Banette. Trick Room would be pretty good. Do I need my Politoed? The problem is if I don't bring Politoed, I just don't know how I beat the Charizard if they don't bring Pelipper, but I'm not 100%. Well, I do have Sneasler, I guess. I think I'm going to do Banette plus Sneasler as the lead. I like the offense that it does have access to. The question is who am I pairing it with? Because I feel like I had to bring Arch Politoed if this is the case. But I'm very, very concerned about their own Archaludon, but I guess it's okay. Because I do have Snarl Archaludon. Snarl Archaludon does make it a bit easier. Let's see. I need to get a good Destiny Bond trade most likely in this matchup, and Sneasler needs to get a really important knockout. I don't know if we KO Frostlass at +2 with Throat Chop. I think it depends on how bulky the Frostlass is, which is going to be really important to find out. Ideally, we would want to KO the Garchomp quickly because I don't have great switches to Garchomp because I'm not bringing Sylveon to threaten it either. There's a lot that I have to consider here, but let's find out. Charizard Sneasler, okay. I actually really don't mind this matchup. Yeah, I don't mind here. Charizard Y and Focus Sash, okay. The problem is Fake Out and the Heat Wave is pretty bad here for me. Fake Out and the Heat Wave is pretty bad for me. I can try and maneuver this, but it's not easy. Maybe my best play is just to Swagger the Charizard. It might be Swagger the Charizard turn 1. Because I can't protect the Sneasler. Actually, I could protect Sneasler. You know what? They're probably going to Heat Wave. I'm going to go for Poltergeist into this Sneasler, and I'm going to go for Protect with my Sneasler. Because if they go for Fake Out Heat Wave into my Sneasler, then I could go for Swagger Rock Slide the following turn and get a double knockout, which I think is really big. I also don't know if they'll try to play around Rain Dance. I think they are trying to play around Rain Dance, so this is really good for me. Assuming they don't double up my Banette slot. Protect is not ideal, but it's like fine. I could have got a Swagger Rock Slide. Okay, that's... I'm kind of curious about this. I guess they're worried about Fake Out from the Sneasler, but I feel like you also have to worry about Encore from my Banette if they don't know the move pool. Alright, I'm going to Swagger and I'm going to Rock Slide. We can flinch the Sneasler, which would be nice, but mainly we do want to punish the Charizard. They Mega Volt the Charizard, so this is looking already pretty good. This is looking pretty good, but I do have to go for 2 inaccurate attacks, but I mean, that's how the team plays. Come on. That's 1. So now Sneasler has +2 attack. Confused, but Lumberry will proc it and snap it out. And now we have Unburden active. Rock Slide connects, thankfully, so we do get the KO onto Charizard. A good amount of damage to the Sneasler, too. And now... well, that extra KO Charizard thanks to the crit. I don't think the crit was necessary to KO, though. What did they go for? Poison Jab. Okay, that's not doing much damage. And that's actually really good for me because I think I'm... am I out of close combat range? I think I'm barely out of close combat range, which is really nice. Unless I close combat myself. Garchomp comes in. That's fine. I'm just going to go for Poltergeist into the Sneasler close combat to Chomp. I don't see a problem with that. I mean, Caesar can protect. Is the Garchomp bulky enough to live +2 close combat? Normally, Garchomps don't even live close combat. I feel like Adamant would guarantee the knockout, but yeah, I do KO the Garchomp. Beautiful. So Garchomp goes down. Sneasler's going in right now. Sneasler is going in. Goodbye, Garchomp. We go for the Poltergeist. Into the Sneasler. I think they were really hoping that the Bayonet didn't have Encore, but very solid. Sneasler putting in work. Sneasler putting in a ton of work with the Bayonet combo. Love to see it. Okay, we have Raichu, Staraptor, Arcanine, the Hisuian form, of course, the Farigiraf, Sylveon, and King Gambit. Okay. This is a pretty standard team, yet not easy per se. Yeah, this is not an easy one. I think Sylveon's really good against this team, though. Sylveon is pretty good. Oh, and actually, there is a fun thing we can do with Bayonet. And that's we can, if they don't lead Farigiraf plus Sylveon, I can actually go for a Bayonet Swagger to start after and lower its attack. So that's actually one thing that's actually pretty cool about this matchup. Trying to figure out what the best combo is here, though. I also don't know if they're bringing the Raichu or not, which is a good question. I think I'm going to do Bayonet plus... Trying to think. I definitely bring Sylveon. I think Sneasler is a pretty good lead. I think I like Sneasler a lot. With Sylveon, and the question is, am I bringing Politoed or am I bringing something else in the back? I think Politoed is good. I don't think Arch is a bad mon either. There were a lot of ways I could have played this. I could have tried to go for the Rain Wind con. I kind of like the idea of Sneasler, mainly because I don't know if they're bringing Raichu, and I feel like if they bring Raichu, I actually really want Sneasler to threaten the one-shot into the Raichu, because Raichu's actually such a pain for my team. Okay, it is Sylveon plus the Raichu. Okay. As we lead Bayonet plus Sneasler. We find the Raichu and the Fairy Feather, so we don't have to worry about Staraptor, which is nice. We don't have Poison Jab, unfortunately. Poltergeist wouldn't KO the Raichu. A lot of things to consider. I think they would target down the Sneasler with Fake Out and then Hyper Voice. If they go for Zap Cannon, Hyper Voice, and Bayonet, amazing play by them. But I think my play here is to go for a Poltergeist into the Sylveon slot and go for a Protect. Okay, the Raichu switches out, which is interesting. Who's coming in? Farigiraf. Okay. I guess they do this to prevent the Fake Out. Do they protect though? I'm kind of curious if they protect. Very curious if they protect here. Probably, right? Sneasler protects. Is this protect from Sylveon or did they Hyper Voice? They Hyper Voice, okay. It's not Cobra on the Giraffe, right? I don't think it is. That does a lot to Bayonet, but we do get a Poltergeist off. And this is going to do a ton of damage. Okay. Sylveon's in range of an attack here. I am going to go for Swagger. I'm going to go for it into my Sneasler. I think I close combat the Farigiraf because here's the thing. I don't know if I'm actually KOing the Farigiraf with this. The thing is, I know Drochop's definitely not KOing the Farigiraf here. But I think I go for this. If Sylveon detects, this is really great for me. Because assuming I don't think I KO this Giraffe though. Giraffe is just such a bulky Pokemon. But it is like, I think I need the damage into it because I can't touch it with Bayonet anyway. Did they go for Trick Room or did they go for Psychic though? That's what I'm more curious about. Close combat. Oh, I did KO the Giraffe. I might have gotten a high roll. That's a massive KO actually into the Giraffe. So no Trick Room in this game is fantastic, and Bayonet can spam priority moves. Although realistically, like I only have Swagger that I would really click here. Raichu comes in. The problem is I'm in speed with everything, which makes things complicated. I'm just going to Destiny Bond here. I'm going to Destiny Bond and I'm going to go for Protect, I think, with my Sneasler. Because the Raichus don't usually carry Faint on this team. I guess it's going to come down to the last Pokemon. Yeah, it's just going to come down to the last Pokemon, I think. Alright, they Mega Evolve the Raichu. We go for the Protect with Sneasler. So we can't get attacked this turn. Here comes the Destiny Bond as they did fake out my Sneasler. Destiny Bond will come out. And this is really good because having this Destiny Bond is massive because Bayonet will be able to trade here. They go for Hyper Voice. Excellent. KO. Beautiful. All right, Bayonet trading for Sylveon is nice. I get rid of Sylveon. And now it's a 2v3 scenario and I have a boosted Sneasler. Probably last mon I want to assume is the Arcanine or the Gambit. If it's Gambit, I'm really celebrating. If it's Arcanine, I think my best line is to go Sylveon then. Because I could go for close combat into Raichu if they bring out Arcanine, but they could protect. Actually, yeah, they could protect Flare Blitz my Sneasler, and I think I go down to Flare Blitz and Rain, and then Extreme Speed, and then they could Zap Cannon to Politoed. So I think I have to go out into this. They actually go Gambit, which is fine. Okay. Because I think Sylveon should be in a comfortable spot here. Do I want a Hyper Beam? Hyper Beam close combat is a play I do have access to. I max special attack. I think I go for it. I'm going to Hyper Beam, and I'm going to close combat the Raichu. Because I live a Life Orb Sucker Punch at -1 defense easily. And I'm curious if the Raichu or the Gamma protects, because I think they kind of have to get the target right with Sneasler. Okay, they go for Sucker Punch crit instead. I don't get crit, thankfully, so Sneasler lives on, and then I should win the game because close combat obliterates the Raichu, and then Hyper Beam will KO the Gambit. And even if we miss, we should still be fine. We click Hyper Voice twice. Okay. Raichu goes down, and now I just get a Hyper Beam off into King Gambit, which I think was worth the risk-reward trade-off, if I'm not mistaken. So Hyper Beam will blow up the King Gambit. If the Raichu protected, Hyper Beam would have blown up the King Gambit. If the Gambit protected, I got a free close combat off in the Raichu, and I would win the game. So that was kind of the idea behind this line. So worked out really, really well. And I think Sylveon Bring was always correct. Then Politoed in that slot. All right, we have Charizard, a Garchomp, Lopunny, Sylveon, Basculegion, and King Gambit. 2 Mega Evolutions, although Garchomp I guess could be a potential, but realistically I think Bayonet is pretty good here. I do believe it is strong into this team. I gotta think if I'm bringing Sylveon or not, because Sylveon's not bad, but it's not like... Iron Defense Corv is also pretty tempting here, but... I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Because there is a Charizard. Yeah, this is going to be a questionable one. Because I don't know if I try to like set up a rain mode situation here. Because Archaudon is pretty good and it's one of like the Pokemon that does beat Basculegion, but tough to say. I think it's Sneasler lead. I think Sneasler plus Bayonet is pretty good. I just don't know. I think it's Arch Politoed, but I'm not 100% certain on this combo. The reason I'm not certain on this combo is I don't know if they lead something like Lopunny Gambit and then have access to Fake Out plus like a strong attack, which is why I'm thinking of going into Archaudon because it can actually switch in on like Fake Out plus Kowtow. But in order to enable Archaudon, I do need the King Gambit. Okay, they lead Sylveon plus the Lopunny. Interesting. Fairy Feather and the Mega Lopunny makes sense. I don't have Poison Jab, which is the unfortunate part here. I think you always fake out the Sneasler, but if you fake out the Bayonet, it gets very complicated, but not much I could really do about it. I think we're gonna go for... Can I just go for Poltergeist turn 1? I think I'm gonna go for Protect Poltergeist turn 1. The thing is, I don't know if Lopunny has a move that can actually threaten the Sneasler, so I'm kind of curious if I can get damage into the Sylveon, then I can go for a specific combo. But let's find out. We will Mega Evolve our Bayonet. Poltergeist is looking pretty strong here, but let's see. I don't know who they fake out. I think it's fake out to the Sneasler and Hyper Voice, but we'll find out. Ah, they got me. Okay. Although Hyper Voice shouldn't KO, which is one big thing. Okay. A lot of damage. I do have a play that can get around Encore on the Lopunny. And I can play around as well with the Hyper Voice, which is Self-Swagger into Throat Chop the Sylveon, because this does prevent it from being able to click Hyper Voice. And then I can bypass the Encore thanks to some Burden. Alright, let's see if the Lopunny actually has a move here. We go for Throat Chop into the Sylveon to bypass and break one turn. We do see the Encore, okay. And they can't go for it. But the problem is, even with this play, I don't know if it's still great. I can Destiny Bond with Bayonet, which is still good for me, but the Sylveon can go for Hyper Beam or Quick Attack, or I can Protect, I suppose. I think I just Throat Chop to Sylveon, and I think I Destiny Bond still. I just don't know if they double up the Sneasler, but that would be with Hyper Voice. Okay, they switch out Sylveon. Is this Gambit? Okay, that makes sense. Quick Attack. Ooh. Oh, but Bayonet survives. But that means they're going to tar down my Sneasler slot the following turns. But that's okay. Here comes Throat Chop. I don't think this is awful, but it's obviously not ideal. Because the Bayonet can't really do much here, unfortunately. Poltergeist doesn't do anything here for me. Trick Room doesn't do much here for me. Yeah, this is a bit awkward. I think I always just Throat Chop the Lopunny and swap out the Bayonet to go on to Archaludon. I think if this is Sword Stance Gambit, this is going to be very tricky. But this Lopunny set, the fact that it's Quick Attack actually makes it awkward. I was hoping to eat a close combat here. Okay, Throat Chop. They Encore to Bayonet. Maybe it's Encore to Bayonet here. That makes sense too. Okay, that's good for me. Because my Encore is now removed. They do go for Iron Head. Does this put me in Quick Attack range? It probably does, yeah. I think I have to make a call this turn. This turn is very impactful. So the two options I could see... Oh wait, they can Sucker... The Sucker Punch get my Sneasler at this range? That's a good question. I think they close combat my Archaludon. Oh, I'm still locked to Throat Chop. I miscounted my Encore turns. No, wait, that's bad. That's bad. That means they're just gonna close combat the Arch and Iron Head probably. Oh, that's not good. Okay, at least the Lopunny's low and in Weather Ball range. Did they go for close combat? Iron Head into the Sneasler. Maybe what I should have done instead if I thought they were going to Iron Head was switch on to Politoed. But I don't know if Weather Ball KO'd the Lopunny. I think here I have to go for a play of going Politoed here. And the question is my better play on Archaludon going for the double protect, or is it just swap here? Because I know I'm Weather Balling the Lopunny. The Gambit's not Sword Stance, so it's a lot less scary. I think it's going out into Bayonet. This is going to be still really tough because beating the Basque Legion is still going to be a problem. Oh, they Encore instead, which works. You get a Weather Ball off. So Lopunny goes down. Okay, wait. Kowtow? Kowtow to Politoed. Makes sense. Get the chip. Am I in last respect range from the Basket Legion? I think it depends on the item. Sylveon coming in. Okay. I feel like you should be scared of Destiny Bond, but I guess they could quick attack the Bayonet, but... Didn't the Bayonet move before? I feel like the Bayonet moved before. I think... Did they not have Basket? I thought they were gonna just Aqua Jet or something. I'm curious if I can do a Destiny Bond play. Or if it's better to just hard switch to Arch. I think I Destiny Bond here. And protect Politoed to make sure like Politoed's still around. Okay, we get the Destiny Bond off. They did go for a quick attack. Okay, I thought my Bayonet would probably be faster than this Sylveon because they don't have Tailwind on this team. Okay, so we traded Sylveon, which is good for my Arch. So Sylveon goes down. It's now Basket Legion, or if it's Garchomp. If it's Garchomp, I can still win. If it's Garchomp, I need to land a Hypnosis probably. It is Bass though. Okay. I mean, realistically, I'm going for Hypnosis into the Basque slot, and I'm going for Electroshot. Is that the right play? It is, because I'm min speed on the Politoed. I can't perish in the endgame right now. I need to get a Hypnosis off, I think. Well, the thing is, it depends on if I think the Bass is Life Orb, but I think the Garchomp's probably Life Orb. Is this Sash? If it's Sash, that's concerning, but I guess we'll play a 50-50. I'm just going to Hypnosis to Gambit and Electroshot, I think, the Basket Legion. They go for a Sucker Punch and a Politoed. Interesting. Is that Sash? I feel like you only make that play for Sash. Okay, Last Respect comes out in a Politoed. Politoed goes down. This has to be Sash, right? Unless they read like the Hypnosis into the Basket Legion. Maybe that's what they went for. Okay, here's the Electroshot. Are you Sash? It is Sash, okay. Oh, tough end game. It's winnable, but it's super tough. Who do I Electroshot now? I think I gotta read if they're gonna Sucker Punch Last Respect or if they're gonna just go for like Kowtow Protect into... Yeah, I'm not sure. This is tricky. I can Protect a Scout for a Protect, I guess, on their side. But I don't know if I even win this endgame. I feel like Last Respect is gonna do too much. They should do like, what? Yeah, I feel like that's doing too much. I'm pretty sure Kowtow is just blowing me up at this point. So I can KO the Bass, but I don't think I have enough firepower. Was the play? I think my better play earlier was to try and get a stamina boost before the Basket Legion came in. I think I had to switch out, even though getting rid of Sylveon was good, I think it was probably better for me to switch out the Bayonet into Archaludon on the Quick Attack. Because I had a suspicion they might have went for Quick Attack, but I wasn't 100%. Kowtow. I mean, Arch survives. Do I live Sucker Punch? Kowtow did that much. I mean, the thing is, I can't KO King Gambit without an Electroshot. I think I still go for Electroshot and just hope that the Kowtow was a high roll. I think I rather... It might be Chople Gambit. I don't think it's Black Glasses. Sucker. I think it's still the better play. I guess I could Protect and then Flash Cannon, but I don't know if I beat the Gambit 1v1. Maybe I do, but the thing is, the Kowtow seems really close based on the damage, and I just couldn't break through the Gambit with just Flash Cannon, I'm pretty sure at +2. But I think my better play was earlier, switching out the Bayonet into the Archaludon on a Quick Attack, because I would get the Stamina boost, and then I could go for like Weather Ball Flash Cannon maybe into the Sylveon. And because of the Stamina boost, the numbers changed so much on the Basket Legion. I could have also went for a double protect with Politoed, but I wasn't expecting them to double into Politoed, and I wasn't sure on the item on the Basque. All right, we're gonna see the... Oh wait, we played against this team before. Staraptor, Metagross, Grimmsnarl, Raichu, Gengar, and Tyranitar. So we know based on a previous episode that we played against this team, the Staraptor's Mega, the Grimmsnarl has Fake Out as well as Parting Shot, and we know the Gengar is Focus Sash. The Raichu, I don't remember if we confirmed anything, but... Alright, what am I going here? I definitely like Banette because Banette's really good here. I think Banette's fantastic against my opponent's team. I'm going to bring Banette and pair it with... It's Sylveon. I think Sylveon's fine as a lead. I'm just wondering if I bring Arch or not, because Arch is like okay, but it's not like amazing into this team. I'm pretty sure that Politoed I don't need either. I think it's probably Corf Sneasler. Yeah, I don't mind this. The reason is I like Sylveon to help deal damage to the Grimmsnarl. I think having Corviknight's really nice because it kind of can wall most of my opponent's team besides the Raichu. And then I think I bring the Sneasler because, of course, like it's pretty... It's not one-dimensional. We're going to see Gengar plus Grimm, okay? Versus Banette Sylveon. Do I think I live max Shadow Ball? We know his leftovers Grimm and Sash on the Gengar from earlier. I think my play here is to swap. Well, do I think I lived a Shadow Ball? I don't think I do, but I think it's probably worth going for. I'm going to go for Poltergeist into the Gengar, and I'm just going to go for Hyper Voice. I think this is Fake Out into Sylveon and probably a Shadow Ball, but I think Banette lives Shadow Ball. I think Banette lives Shadow Ball. Oh, I think it does. Don't quote me on this, but let's see. I could be completely wrong on this one. All right, Banette Mega Evolves. Do I live Shadow Ball from regular Gengar? I want to say I live one. Okay, never mind. Not with Fake Tears. Banette's going to get blown up. Okay. I guess if I went Corv there, that was correct. But I mean, Hyper Voice is still doing a really good amount of damage. I might KO Grimm. I think this was really physically defensive Grimm. Not enough, but honestly still alright. I think Grimm goes down to Quick Attack. I think I just go Sneasler here and I throw off a Throat Chop into the Gengar and I throw off a Quick Attack. Yeah. I'm gonna Throat Chop and Quick Attack, I think. Let's see if the Grimm is faster than my Sylveon. That's the only thing I'm not 100% certain. We see the Grimm switch out, though, into Tyranitar. Oh, that could have been a nice Hyper Voice. But, I mean, this is still fine, because Tyranitar's not really a threat. Okay, Quick Attack. Hyper Voice would have been massive there, but granted, I don't think this is a terrible spot. Also, that looks frail, I want to say. Throat Chop KOs to Gengar. I don't know if they were expecting Throat Chop, but Gengar goes down. Pretty good turn. I'm just trying to figure out what their last Pokemon is. If it's Staraptor, I think it's fine. We close combat the Tyranitar Hyper Beam the Staraptor. If it's Grimmsnarl, they're going to go for Fake Out, I guess. I don't really want to give them a free switch, but I also don't want to give them free damage into Sylveon either. I think I double protect here, but it really depends on their last Pokemon, because I don't think it's Mega Tyranitar here. I'm trying to figure out what their last Pokemon is. I want to say it's Staraptor. If they read double protect, they could have went Staraptor and faked out, which I think was a very fair play. They did fake out my Sneasler. Heavy Slam. Okay, I'm very glad I didn't go for like a protect or attack attempt. Tyranitar cannot outspeed max speed Sneasler. Because max speed Tyranitar is 124, and with Choice Scarf, that's slower than 189. So I close combat and I click Hyper Voice here. They don't have a good switch to close combat Hyper Voice. Nothing on their team takes this other than maybe Metagross for the Grimmsnarl slot. So let's see what they decide. I do wish I Hyper Voiced earlier because it could have been like a Quick Attack, double up in this Tyranitar instead. But I mean, Granted, I don't think this is too bad. Also, I should have paid attention to Sand because I don't remember. I'm pretty sure now that I think about it, Sylveon was slower because I'm min-speed Sylveon. I kind of forgot that I'm min-speed Sylveon sometimes on this. But I think I'm okay here because Hyper Voice should be plus close combat again. I don't really see a way that they could really punish this. And I don't really see what comes in safely. Like, they could bring in Staraptor, but... Okay. They faked here's the Sylveon. I'm thinking that means they have Raichu back. Goodbye, Tyranitar. To the close combat. Maybe they don't have Protect on Tyranitar either. Because if they had Protect on Tyranitar, they would have probably protected sacked Grim, brought in Raichu. That's what I'm thinking. Grimmsnarl goes down. What's the final Pokemon? So even though turn 1 didn't go really well at all, like, thankfully the Sneasler Throat Chop is paying off a lot here. What's the final? Oh, it is Staraptor. Okay, I know that this is Mega Staraptor. I don't see a problem with just clicking Rock Slide Hyper Voice, and yeah, they're going to forfeit. There's really nothing that they can really do because they have to Mega Evolve to try and get the contrary boost, but Close Combat's not doing that much damage. Hyper Voice is doing too much, so... And if they go for Dual Wind Beat, Hyper Voice is just doing too much. So I don't think they really had much that they could do there with Staraptor as the last mon. Alright, what am I looking at? Audino, Staraptor, Vaporeon, Clefable, Serena, Farigiraf. Is this Final Gambit Staraptor? I want to say yes. I don't know what their rain matchup is if it's not Mega Staraptor. Huh. Fascinating team. I'm trying to figure out what is the option here. I want to go with Sylveon just because the Hyper Voice damage is really hard for them to play around. The Corviknight's not bad in this matchup, but I feel like I probably try to win with Perish Song. Sneasler is not that great in this matchup because we don't have Poison Jab. If we had Poison Jab, it'd be better. I think I go with Bayonet Sylveon, and then I think I bring Politoed Arch. I'm very curious on if this is Staraptor. Well, I don't know if this is Mega Audino or Mega Staraptor. Or it could be Mega Clefable for all I know. We had 3 potential Megas. I'm not 100% certain which is the best line here, but I think this is alright. The only problem is Farigiraf Staraptor means I can't go for the Swagger into the Staraptor. Actually, I guess one play I can go for is Protect Sylveon turn 1, Swagger to Staraptor. Because I can decide to delay Mega Evolution here. Okay, it's Audino Staraptor. I want to say this is Final Gambit. Let's see. It is Mega Audino, and it is Final Gambit Staraptor, it looks like. Okay. So our play here is to go for a Swagger. I think we're going to target Audino, and we're going to detect the Sylveon. They're going to Mega Evolve the Audino. I think this is Final Gambit. I feel like we're going to... Actually, if this is Trick Room, why did I go for the... Now that I think about it, this was a bad Swagger. This was a bad Swagger. If they hit themselves, I actually need them to get Trick Room up. Oh, they Brave Bird instead. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it did a lot to Bayonet, but that's still okay. So we got Swagger off into the Audino. Is this... I don't know what kind of Audino set this is. It does hit itself. So unironically, if they went for Final Gambit, I think I'm in the worst spot. Because they Brave Bird, I'm actually in an okay spot. Because I can go Arch Shallow and I can click Hyper Voice. Even if Sylveon takes a lot, as long as our Archaludon's in a comfortable position, I think like it's really hard for them to beat Arch. So I'll always just bring in the Archaludon here, try to get maybe some stamina boosts. Here's what the back is. Brave Bird again. Is this Bayonet? Nice. That did a lot, actually. Is that a crit? That might be just max attack Staraptor, because why is that Brave Bird doing so much? Is it Reckless? Did it show Intimidate? Snaps out. Trick Room goes up. Perfect. Flash Cannon Hyper Voice seems pretty free right here. I could also Electroshot if I really want to, but I don't really see a reason to go for that. Also, is this Reckless? Oh, it is Reckless. I didn't pay attention. It is Reckless. I was about to say that Brave Bird did so much damage. We go for Flash Cannon Hyper Voice. There's really no switch that they have access to. They life do, but I mean, they're going down to Hyper Voice with the Staraptor. I mean, the Autono is going to be able to stick around a bit longer, but that's okay. How do they break through the Arch? That's all I'm trying to figure out is how do you break through the Arch? Because the Arch right now seems very tough for them. Flash Cannon's not KOing, but it's doing a lot. Yeah. Okay, we should be able to remove the Autono. Is this Simple Beam? I mean, if this is Simple Beam, it's fine. I could just perish in the end game. Vaporeon comes in. I'm gonna Snarl and Hyper Voice because if this is some Simple Beam strat, then I can get a -2. Yeah, Simple Beam is not surprising on this kind of team. And Quick Attack wasn't knocking. I don't think Quick Attack knocks out Autono just because Autono is pretty bulky. I get a Hyper Voice off into the Autono. Okay. Calm Mind, yeah. So it's +2 special attack, +2 special defense, and if we hit the Snarl, it'll be neutral special attack and +2 special defense, which isn't bad for me. So here comes the Snarl. So we harshly lower it because Simple doubles the stat changes. So back to neutral, special attack on the Vaporeon. And I think all we have to do is just Perish Song now. We just have to figure out how to get Perish Song set up. Clefable, okay. I go for a Snarl and swap to Politoed for Perish immediately, I'm pretty sure. Because all you need is Perish Song, I think, to win. I'm kind of curious on the speed order, though. Who's faster? Actually, it's probably Clef. Clef is definitely outspeeding. Well, I'm curious about my Politoed speed tier with the Clefable. Because now the Clef is about to be minus, or not minus. Please hit the Clef. Okay, that's... I mean, it's not great, but like, the Clef is probably the more important one because the Clef can probably break through the Politoed. I don't think the Vaporeon can. So this is literally just going to come down to Perish Song. I'm spamming Snarl again, I'm pretty sure, and I'm going for Perish. I don't think there's a reason to protect here because I don't think Archaudon goes down to any attacks. So we're going for Snarl and we're going for Perish Song. If I get the Perish Song off and I have healthy Mons, I win the game. If I don't get the Perish Song off, I do probably lose. Muddy Water, that's fine. Also, it's not... I mean, Sword Power is not doing anything here. Damage-wise. Moonblast might hurt, though. The Arch. Politoed should easily live, because Politoed's good for death. Oh, yeah, very easily. Okay, yeah, this is a game over. So we get the Citrus. Here comes Perish Song. Game is over, because now we just, like, spam Protects, and we are good. So... Okay, very funny with how this game turned out, but I'm very glad I brought the rain mode. I think Politoed Perish was good. And yeah, we didn't have to worry about it too much. Because we just got knockouts and was able to get for endgame Perish. It's just a funny team, though. It is a very funny team. Double Protect, double Switch, double Protect wins the game. I also could have probably tried to cheese one of the Mons with Destiny Bond, but regardless, we're still good here. Yep. And Battle gonna be forfeit because they know they cannot win the game, so excellent. Not losing to Vaporeon Clefable today with Autono. Okay, we have Gengar, Archaudon, Swampert, Vivian, Incineroar, Politoed. This is the Perish Rain team that is pretty common. How am I beating this? Banette's good Banette's good damage-wise, but dealing with the Vivian... It's not easy. I'm wondering if I should just lead Sneasler plus Banette here. I do have a Ghost type, which is good. I don't know if we live Shadow Ball from Mega Gengar. If it's uninvested, maybe. I think lead-wise plan, though, is Sneasler plus Bayonet. The thing is, I'm also very weak to, unironically, the Mega Swampert. So Mega Swampert's going to be a problem, too. Yeah, this is a tough one. I don't think the Corv outspeeds... No, it doesn't outspeed the Archaludon, so Corv is just never an answer. I think I just need Arch, and I probably have to bring Politoed. I don't even like this plan. Actually, I think I had to bring Sylveon. Oh, this is such a scuffed matchup, I think, for me, because Swampert can destroy my team, and if I'm not careful against Parrish like Gengar, but I think Swampert actually kind of destroys the team here, because I don't have the best offense against it, unless they lead something very specific. Okay, they go Gengar Instant, which is good for me, actually. Okay, I have a few different plans here. We see Pasha Berry on the instant. It is Mega Gengar. We do have access to Poltergeist immediately, which is very tempting. I wonder if they switch out to Gengar. Because I don't think you're going to fake out the Sneasler, but I don't know. We'll find out. I think my best play is to close combat, go for Swagger. Into the Sneasler. The reason is I think Gengar could have a... I think I could see Protect from the Gengar and try to Parting Shot to the Bayonet or maybe Darkest Lariat to put me in range of Shadow Ball. I don't think they're going to go for Fake Out, but we'll see. Maybe this was better to just go for Poltergeist. But I don't think I'm in a game losing spot even if I get this wrong. And okay, they didn't Protect. So I do get the close combat into Instant. I guess this works because I'm +1 OKO. I thought they were going to try to go like Vivian and Protect with the Gengar. That's what I thought was going to happen. I get a close combat off into Instant, so I remove the Instant immediately, which is really good. And then what does the Gengar do? Is this Shadow Ball or is this Perish? Shadow Ball. It should live, right? Oh, I did not live, so I'm glad I got the Swagger off in time. Okay. That's actually good. That's actually good. Alright, don't underestimate Gengar. That mon is a threat. I'm going out into Sylveon here. You might think why I go into Sylveon. The reason I go Sylveon here is because if it's Vivian, I want to threaten Quick Attack Rock Slide. Exactly. Because I do not want Sleep Powder or Hurricane coming out, so I'm just going to Quick Attack Rock Slide. Okay, no Protects too, which is fantastic, so please... Nice, we do land both. Now the Gengar cannot really perish in the end game. We get rid of Vivian, which is massive, so Vivian gone. Surprised no Rage Powder, but this worked out. They Sludge Bomb instead, that's cool. Poison, I mean, we're fine. Sylveon actually lives on 1. Is that good for me or is that bad for me? If this is Arch, I should win, yeah. Arch might be inclined to Protect. If it attacks, that's fine, because I'm pretty sure that Arch cannot knock out my Sneasler in one shot. So I think I go for Throat Chop and I go for Hyper Beam. They might double Protect here, which is fine. They did Protect the Gengar. Is this Protect from the Arch too? Okay. That's okay. I mean, this means that they have to go for a double Protect and they have to call which slot I'm targeting with the Sneasler, so this is alright. This is completely alright. Hyper Beam into the Arch. Will fail, but Sylveon goes down, but we get a free switch into our Archaludon. My Archaludon's also faster than their Archaludon, most likely, because these teams have no reason to run speed on their Arch, and I have like slightly a bit. So I'm going to go for Throat Chop into Gengar. I'm going to go for Snarl. Okay, no double Protect. I think they had to go for a double Protect on one of them. Call the target. I think they guarantee lose off this now. Well, actually, I could still lose here. Oh, they actually had the faster Arch. I was not expecting that. But Sneasler does survive the Dragon Pulse. If they crit, maybe there's a chance for them. But they also would have had to crit my Arch eventually. Because I just spam Snarl as they spam Dragon Pulse. And I think I win the damage trades. Okay. And now I guarantee win because close combat just blows up their Archaludon. Because I am even though they're +1 attack, or +1 defense, I'm +1 attack. Actually, I should just protect Electroshot, right? I think protect Electroshot makes more sense. Because I can get a special attack boost. They can't knock out Arch here. Yeah. Because this is bold Archaladon if it's the same version. So I think I just always Electroshot here because getting that extra special attack boost is kind of nice. Because bold Archaladon usually lives adamant close combat, so I think Jolly could be a roll. But granted, I could have just went for Flash Cannon maybe. Flash Cannon close combat probably KO'd, but either way, I think this was still a pretty guaranteed win. Because just having the boosted Archaladon against their non-boosted Archaladon or -1 Archaladon, I felt like was still worth it. So nice. Glad I didn't rely on Banette surviving the Gengar because that would have been very bad if I went for Poltergeist, but thankfully was able to get the KO. And what a fitting end to the Banette video. We do reach Champions tier with Mega Banette, which is pretty cool because this Mega Pokemon I think is really sick. And like, even though it wasn't like, I think the craziest Mega, the fact that the offense actually came into play in some of the games, as well as like, of course, like the prankster shenanigans it can do, I think was really neat. So how was the team? I think the team is really fun, and I do think that it does have some surprises which work better as surprises, but of course I do think that the Banette is a very tricky Pokemon to play against. I bet a lot of players when they first saw this team probably thought like, oh, it's on Rain, probably Rain Dance, it probably has with the Mega Banette, but this one can bluff that of course against Charizard, so Charizard is going to have a tougher time of wanting to lead against this team, and that means you can do stuff again with like your Archaladon, your Sneasler, or your Sylveon and dish out a ton of damage, while the Charizard isn't threatening really powerful Heat Waves right off the bat. That Swagger combination with Sneasler, of course, can really catch opponents off guard, and it's a great surprise. And I think Banette is just really good because of the fact that it's a high attack stat, but it wasn't able to utilize it in previous formats. But the access to Poltergeist that it got access to in Gen 8 actually makes it a pretty offensive threat to actually use its base 165 attack stat, where it can actually dish out a ton of damage and make it a pretty powerful tool. Even with no investment, it's still able to do a ton of damage. So I think it's a very fun mon. It has so many great support moves. We only got to go in with the Destiny Bond Trick Room set, but I think there's like a lot of different moves and options that you do have access with Mega Banette, and it is a bit more powerful than Sableye, mainly because that Poltergeist does hit really hard, as well as the Destiny Bond and a few other tricks that only Banette has access to can be very, very strong in certain matchups. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. If you'd like to try out the team, the replica code is on your screen. Make sure you try it out while you can. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.